Mr. Guidry.
May we all bow our heads, please. Heavenly Father, we come this evening in the most humble and gracious way we know how, giving many thanks upon the many blessings you bestowed upon us as your Christian people. We ask a special blessing upon this board. We make decisions that will be the betterment of this state, this parish, and this city, Heavenly Father. We just ask that everyone that's present, Father, that you may shine blessing light upon them and their family, Father. We ask all these blessings in your Son name, Jesus. Amen. We all face the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the March 25, 2024 Lake Charles Harbor and Terminal District regular meeting. Note that we have a quorum. The board encourages public comments and questions regarding all agenda items. Persons wishing to do so should complete a speaker's card, which is at the entrance to the boardroom. When speaking or asking a question or on an agenda item, one should, in addition to completing the card, come to the microphone, be recognized, and provide your name, address, and phone number. Comments by individuals will be limited to 3 minutes. The first matter on the agenda is approval of the February 26, 2024 regular meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. Prudham, second by Mr. Guidry. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. First submission, 2024-012, authorizing executive director to amend the CEA with the state and LMOGA. Mr.
Yes,
Self?
sir. Staff seeks approval to extend the term, Yep. Extends the CEA with the state of Louisiana through DOTD and LMOGA to continue funding the public-private partnership P3 for the Calcasieu Ship Channel. As I mentioned in the preamble, this relates to the public-private partnership between the state, industry, and the port. Currently, the state puts up $5 million, the port puts up $2.5 million, the industry puts up $2.5 million, and that goes toward adequately funding the non-federal sponsors portion to ensure that the Calcasieu Ship Channel is maintained at its proper depth. Originally, the CEA was signed in 2020 with a 4-year term. This amendment will extend it for another 4 years. So now it will expire in 2028. We've met with the state and LMOGA, and everyone's in favor.
I so move, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Bales. Mr. Craig, did you say?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Any discussion or questions regarding this submission? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Matter passes. Brings us to 2024-013 regarding the lowest responsive bid of Alfred Palmer. Mr. Self?
Yes, sir. Staff requests the Board of Commissioners to authorize the Executive Director to accept the lowest responsive bid from Alfred Palmer LLC for the Petcoke Terminal Conveyor 5B refurbishment at BT1. As I mentioned in the preamble, it relates to the 5B conveyor BT1. This was a conveying system that was heavily used around 2000 and prior. We haven't used it in a while, and this refurbishment really does 3 things for us. First of all, it's going to provide some redundancy in the system. Secondly, it's going to allow us to be able to load ship using both ship loaders when they're in place. And the third item it's going to provide is it'll allow us to load other commodities at BT1. Bids went out in January. We received 1 bid from Alfred Palmer of $1,024,000. That's the base bid, and the engineering estimate was 1.1. So it was actually a little bit below the engineering estimate.
Mr. Self, was that the only bid that was submitted?
Yes, and we only received 1 bid.
Do I have a motion?
Move to approve 2024-013.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any questions? Any other questions, I should say? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. 2024-014 regarding the executive director to enter into a CEA with Calcasieu Parish regarding aerial photography. So,
Yes, Yes, sir. Staff requests the Board of Commissioners to authorize the district to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with the Calcasieu Parish Communications District for aerial photography with a cost share not to exceed $45,000. This relates to a CEA that we have with Calcasieu Parish. We join the tax assessor, the sheriff, and some other local municipalities in sharing this cost. They fly this area, Calcasieu, Cameron, and the Ship Channel. We use these aerial photography, the aerial photos for our GIS system, for planning and development, marketing port properties, deciding if there's other properties that we'd be interested in acquiring, and just really overall port planning. We budgeted $50,000 for 2024, and we estimate our cost share to be $45,000 or less.
So we've done this in the past.
Yes, this is one of, we do it every couple of years.
Do I have a motion?
I so move, Mr. President.
Motion by Ms. Bales, second by Mr. Guidry. Anything more on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. 2024-015, regarding accepting the lowest bid of Alfred Palmer. Mr. Self.
Yes, sir. Staff requests the Board of Commissioners to authorize the Executive Director to accept the lowest responsive bid from Alfred Palmer LLC for the BT1 dock modification for equipment securing. This relates to some required dock modifications that we'll have to undergo for the installation of some tie downs for our 2 new ship loaders, one of which will arrive in about 2 weeks. The design of these tie downs was done by Bougenevar, our consultant. The bids were issued in February. 2 bids were received. The low bid was Alfred Palmer at $761,000.
I have a motion.
A motion, I so move.
Motion by Mr. Craters. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Prudhomme. Any questions or discussion regarding this matter? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Brings us to briefing notes. Cameron?
Yes, sir. So for the month of February, we generated revenues of $3.9 million, which was about $700,000 favorable. We saw higher Petcoke and Bayrite simply due to timing. We actually budgeted the Bayrite ship in January, showed up in February. Expenses were $3.1 million, which is about $600,000 unfavorable, mostly due to higher operating expenses with the higher tonnages, so as expected. Non-operating revenues were around $600,000, which was in line with what we budgeted. So we had a pretty good month with cash flow around $1.2 million. On the balance sheet, as you know, we have quite a few large projects going on, so cash is down about 6.7. And that's partially offset by reimbursements and will be offset more by reimbursements going forward, as well as construction in progress is up $13.2 million due to those projects. Any questions on the financials? Pretty simple.
Go ahead on to FEMA. Go.
All right, so on the FEMA GoSEP report, the main thing, obviously, that I want to mention is we received over the past month about $5.2 million. Another 1.5 was pending until last week. We actually received that other 1.5, so you'll see that on next month's report. And then this week, we were also able to submit another 9.5 million, which will be being processed over the next month or so through their financing. So, any questions? GoSEP? Go right into my monthly. I just want to mention Shauna, our grants contract management specialist, has been working very hard to make sure funds are coming in as quickly as Nick can spend them. She does most of the work to submit and receive funds from GoSEP, Capital Outlay, Port Priority, LADOTD, all those things. So along with the funds I mentioned in the GoSEP report, we also received a notification today that $5.5 million has been processed by Louisiana DOTD related to the rail relocation project, which we should see in our account tomorrow. So I just wanted to make sure y'all were aware of the hard work she's putting in.
Thank you.
So,
Anything further,
no, sir.
We'll go to Kenny, navigation, you're up.
I speak in initials a lot.
Is that okay?
clear it up before I start. NOAA, N-O-A-A, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, maintains a system of sensors on the channel. The system's called ports, Physical Oceanic Real-Time System. It measures air gap on the 210 bridge, currents, direction, wind, etc. And it's used a lot by the pilots, basically, in bringing ships in and out of here. NOAA is the federal sponsor. We being the Lake Charles Harbor and Terminal District, are the non-federal sponsor, which means there's a 75-25 cost share. This time with this system, it's both operations and maintenance. We've got an agreement with them for 5 years, which just started, to continue the system. With all that as background, it's recently been discussed that we upgrade the system by putting visibility sensors in there. There would be either cameras or these laser systems that measure the visibility. Don't ask me how, I don't know. So that's in the works. I wanted you to know about it. There's a group going out tomorrow to ride down the channel to see where the best place would be for those visibility systems, or sensors rather. And as we all know, because we've lived here for a long time, we do have a fairly extended fog season, which impacts navigation on the channel. So these sensors should be very helpful to deep draft navigation. That, in addition to my normal monthly report, is all I have. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
To the 75-25, who's 75, who's 25?
Depends on what's going on and who is being funded. Right now, we're the 75. Now, that being said, we're not out of pocket on this. The pilots collect an assessment from the vessels that come in. They transfer the money to us each month. Cameron holds a, what do you call that, a reserve fund.
Escrow.
Specially for this. And out of that reserve fund, we make the monthly payments required under the contract. We're also responsible to replace equipment if it needs to be replaced. All that being said, both NOAA and the port have surpluses in these funds because the contractual payments are based on assumptions. And we've been fortunate. We haven't had to make a lot of replacements, hadn't been a lot of damage. So we both have some surpluses. So it may be that we end up, if we do end up putting these sensors in place, we have the money in hand already to make those purchases.
Okay.
And do the installation.
All right, thank you, sir.
Anybody else?
Thank you, Ken. Todd, operation?
Yes, sir. Recently at City Docks, we've had 3 barges of aluminum hydrate. It's been about 5,000 tons. A cargo transfers, about 2,700 tons. A liquid ship, it's 5,000 tons, and some project cargo. Coming up, and currently presently we're loading a rice shipment, about 9,000 tons. On the schedule, we have another lumber vessel, another 8,390 tons, and some more aluminum hydrate barges. At BT1, we've done 4 coke ships, about 170,000 tons. Calcine ship, 2 calcine ships and a barge, about 14,000 tons, and 2 shipments of rutile. On the schedule, we've got another coke ship, about 30,000 tons, a rutile ship that's discharging right now. We have a barite ship, it's about 50,000 tons, it'll be here the 1st of April, and a bagged cement ship that's going to be here the 1st of April at BT1. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Terrence?
Sir.
Development?
Yes, yes, sir. This week, we'll be hosting visitors from the World Food Program and USAID from the DC office, as well as the USDA Commodity Office in Kansas City. The port was recently awarded about 14,500 tons of rice. It's going to be split between 3 countries in Africa. Supreme Rice is going to supply all the rice for the shipments, and they're coming in to visit, do a site tour, to meet, as well as do an inspection of City Docks Terminal. Also this month, we're in the Thrive magazine. We have an ad on page 5 and an article on page 22. We're currently working on a 1,100-word article for Lanyap's annual economic report coming out next month. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Anything for Terrence? Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Nick, engineering?
Yes, sir. Just a general update this evening. All construction projects are progressing nicely. We wrapped up the City Docks rail crossing project last week. It now has the best pavement within City Docks. We're also staying busy with maintenance and repair projects, both at BT1 with some conveyor equipment and City Docks with utility and fender repairs. And lastly, as Ricky mentioned, our new pet coke ship loader is on track to be delivered April 6th to begin its commissioning and testing phase. So we're all very excited to finally get it here and get it started. So, and I'll be glad to answer any other questions.
Nick, what's the time frame with regard to it being in place and able to load?
The ship loader?
Yes.
Yes. So once it's on the dock around April 6th, April 7th is whenever I plan to get it on. It's going to have about 2 to 3 weeks of just, setting it up and getting it all in place. And then they'll start the commissioning phase, which hopefully won't take too long because we'll have ships there waiting so that we can actually cycle material through it. So I would expect about a full month of testing and commissioning.
And we'll have the record reflect Mr. Creelo joined us. Anything more for Nick? Anything in addition to the lobbying reports that are found? Any other matters? Is there a motion for executive session?
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll be in executive session.